work with Ascension, aka St. Joe's. When I took on this position, it was told to me that you have to protect the things in the community and also keep things outside of the community. The things within the community, we have to do our best to keep them alive, pump them, and give them the resources they need to thrive and succeed. Now, although St. Joe's is in the 7th District, it's citywide, known as the birthing center of Milwaukee. My 2 sons were born there. Alderman Chambers was born there. I remember riding my bike over there when I was a kid. I had a sister and a sister-in-law on bed rest. Go up there, eat all their food, and drink their drinks. But we're talking about the other side of the hospital industry, the other side of the businesses, different layers of things that the hospital does. The catheterization lab, it will be referred to today as the cath lab. That deals with cardiac, hearts, valves, everything that goes into and out the heart, cardiac related. Now, with the shutting down of the cath lab in St. Joe's, will put a strain on our first responders. As far as having a 15-minute ride in and around the hospital, with that being closed, you have increased it to a 15, 20 to 30-minute ride. Now, on the other side of the coin, a 30-minute ride out for an ambulance, now they're out in circulation for an hour before they get back into the community. Now, I don't think that could be solved with just adding more paramedics, because imagine you have 2 heart attacks at the same time. You know, that would never happen. So as we go forward looking for answers, and again, this is just a public service announcement, a PSA. St. Joe's is a pillar of the community. Looking forward to working with them as we move forward and getting to the bottom of this. I took a list class once. When you zoom in on the map, you could go down to the street level. You can see the people. 2 clicks, you can still see the streets, the businesses. 2 clicks, you only can see the streets, rivers and stuff. And 2 clicks, the farther away you get from the people, they disappear. So I'm just asking St. Joe's and Ascension to stop double clicking. I'll bring up Assistant Chief Hennessy for any questions and answers and more statistical data on the matter. Thank you.
Good morning. Assistant Chief David Hensley, Milwaukee Fire Department. With the closure of the cath lab at St. Joe's, Milwaukee Fire Department feels that it would be irresponsible of us not to speak and be the voice for the citizens that we serve and protect every day. And to let them know and to let everybody know about the negative impact that this will have on the community and the people that we serve. As we all know in the medical field, that time is tissue when it comes to heart attacks and when it comes to cardiac events. Every 30 minutes delay in cath lab access, a 7.5% increase in mortality is what happens. On top of that, this closure of St. Joe's, when we get there, knowing that the increased times is going to delay care and it's going to delay that time for them to get into the cath lab. It's going to have a negative effect not only on everybody, but primarily the African American population that is close to where St. Joe's is located. In that area, the Milwaukee Fire Department alone impacts approximately 70 STEMI patients and 170 post-cardiac arrest patients per year. This map will help show and demonstrate some of the statistics that we can talk about. If you look at this map, currently 95% of the city of Milwaukee's population is within an estimated 15-minute drive to a cath lab. With St. Joe's closing their cath lab in operation, that number could drop to about 78%. That affects approximately 100,000 residents. 74% of those residents are African American. So as you can see, shutting that down is going to dramatically increase the amount of time that it takes for patients to get to the cath lab. On top of that, according to a 2018 study from the American Heart Association, African American population is 2 times more likely to be affected by adverse side effect or adverse conditions from heart conditions, which is what the cath lab is designed to take care of. Happy to take any questions at this time. My understanding is the cath lab is still operational, unknown on the dates that it will be closing for sure.
And then what does that mean in conjunction with St. Francis and St. Joseph, both closing the cath
St. Francis is also closing their cath lab, and that cath lab is going to be, the cath lab services are being moved to Franklin Ascension. We don't believe that the cath lab closing at St. Francis is going to have as big of an impact because St. Luke's does have a cath lab right down the road from them, so they will still have access to that.
Can you explain what the cath lab does in all the different instances where you would take somebody from an emergency situation like the cath lab?
So chest pain patients who are experiencing heart attacks or heart attack symptoms, we transport them to a cath lab because a cath lab is essentially the fastest access for them to, when they have a block in their artery, the cath lab will go in surgically to remove that blockage to get the tissue and the blood flowing back to their heart. And then, in a sense, will save their heart tissue.
Is it safe to say that the cath lab is also important to evaluate exactly what kind of chest pain they're having and what kind of treatment?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Is it safe to say that the cath lab also is important to evaluate the patient and determine what proper treatment is, or is it a form of treatment mostly?
It is mostly a form of treatment.
How many people does this cath lab service on a daily basis? I wanted to make sure I got that right.
According to our numbers, approximately per year, 70 STEMI patients and 170 post-cardiac arrest patients.
And does Sinai not have a cath lab then?
Sinai closed their cath lab many years ago. I don't know the exact date, but they also had one and they closed it as well.
Have you heard from the people who serve about how they feel about this potential?
We have not, Alderman, if you...
We have. I don't need that. Alderman Mark Chambers, 2nd District. We have heard from our residents in regards to this. This particular closure is actually close, near and dear to me. My grandmother died of a heart attack, and she was serviced at St. Joseph Hospital. She had 2 heart attacks prior to her 3rd one, which actually subsequently took her life. And though having the access to the cath lab within our community was imperative for her and other residents alike to get that fast reaction time to address the issues right away. So hearing this and looking back historically for what Ascension has been doing as far as closing birthing centers at St. Francis and again, back with St. Joseph, when they tried to close St. Joseph a couple years ago, I posed a question to Ascension Healthcare and actually, what is your goal? Do you not want to service the residents within the inner city of Milwaukee, or do you want to service people more out? So, I applaud Alderman Jackson for taking the initiative of doing it because it's very important for us in the African American community to have access to fair treatment and getting things done the right way. So we're going to continue to fight for our residents. We're going to continue to be an advocate for our residents to ensure that we have everything that is necessary right in our backyard. So any other questions? Or?
There's been a dialogue between Ascension and you all as far as like ensuring that you all have access.
Personally, I haven't had any dialogue as of yet. I look forward to having that, the dialogue between the two. I can't speak for the chair of public safety or my colleague Alderman Jackson, but they can answer that question as well. So I haven't had anything personally.
So there's some people that feel that there is already a pretty significant disparity in health for the Black community here in Milwaukee.
Yep.
Can you talk about just how this decision just further creates that?
I mean, as I just said, given the historical fact, they take, the birthing center from St. Francis who, caters to brown and Latino communities, and then they try to close St. Joseph, where, as Alderman Jackson said, I was born in St. Joseph. My daughter was born in St. Joseph. I'm pretty sure thousands and hundreds of thousands of individuals born, and they were trying to shut that hospital down completely. So again, but we haven't heard any type of closures happening at Columbia St. Mary's or in Milwaukee, Columbia St. Mary's or anything of that nature. So, those are the questions that I would ask the representatives of Ascension, and I don't want to talk to their mouthpiece. I actually want to go to the CEO or whoever that makes those decision makers, whoever those decision makers are, to figure out what gives, honestly. So.
What message would you put out to the public in the meantime while we're doing this?
Call us. We want to hear your stories. We want to hear, the impact that this potential closure can be. call, Ascension's offices and tell them that we don't want this to happen. We want it to stay. St. Joseph is important to us, the cath lab, whatever it is within the inner city, we want it to stay. So as many voices that can be out here and be heard, they need to show up and show out. That would be my ask to our residents.
If you flash back to the alders that were here back in 2018 when there was last proposed major cuts at St. Joe's, what was the process to actually get them to rescind that proposal, and is it possible that this could happen again in 2024?
My recollection, I know President Perez was here during that time. My recollection is with Alderman Khalif Rainey, Alderwoman Malele Coggs, Alderman Russell Stamper, and other colleagues. They put the same pressure on them, and I think they had the collaboration with Ascension, and we look forward to having that same dialogue with Ascension and trying to find out creative solutions to keep the cath labs open at St. Joseph and St. Francis, and just to show them how important that is. But we also need to hear from them. We also need to figure out how did they how did they come up to that decision in order to make, to make those closures, come up to, reason why they want to close. So it's a good dialogue to have. I look forward to having those dialogues with Representative along with my colleagues, and I think that, we're going to get that done.
Did council receive any advance notice of the closure, and what can council do to make sure that these closures stop happening?
Well, I think we heard it from the fire department and Chairman Spiker, and honestly, the council, we're doing exactly what we can do right now, and we're making the community and the city as a whole aware of what is going on underneath their noses. The louder we get, the more informed that we, make our constituents, our residents aware. Hopefully we can have a more positive outcome. So right now, this is step one. Again, I applaud Alderman Jackson for bringing this attention to it, and as a neighboring alder, this is very imperative that we all stand united and ensure that Ascension can't get away with this, without having some type of conversation with us. So, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.